thanks to have Campaigns 21, there's an online platform. We can have the panel discussion about how will the COVID-19 crisis impact the production. I'm Leo from Prosperity.
Hi, I'm Hassan Javed. I'm one of the directors at AGI Denim. We're a vertically integrated denim manufacturer based in Karachi, Pakistan.
Hi, I'm Alberto De Conti. I'm heading up the Rudolf fashion division at Rudolf Chemicals, chemical manufacturer based in Germany.
Yeah, here we have some topics, some interesting topics, and we can have some discussion, have an opinion from different angle. Let's say maybe we start on the first one. Now the retail in some Western market has opened again. What are the first meaningful insights? And to me, I can share some information about Chinese market. Due to the Chinese retail market already restart, what I have some kind of meaningful insights. There's an online business, e-commerce grow very fast. And if the retail store really depends on the offline channels, maybe the recovery is quite slow. But now, if some retailer have the capability, both online and offline, and after the crisis, nowadays, still at least they are recovering, and then some of that still they are growth. Yeah, maybe Alberto, can you share some more information?
Yeah, right. I can definitely offer, first-hand information from Europe. I live and work in Italy, but I have two kids in Belgium, so like in Northern Europe, and I've been visiting them. So I got sort of perspective from the two parts of Europe, South and North, and there was a lot of expectations in terms of when the stores were going to open, what was going to happen. Everybody couldn't really guess, were people going to rush into shopping, or was going to be some skepticism. Now, I've been shopping myself. So I just wanted to see what situation was like in both countries, so in Italy and Belgium. A few observations. Some of the retailers are definitely open now, which is extremely good news. Okay, what you do see, however, it's a sort of a number of barriers that have been imposed by law. So you walk into the mall, you have like circuits you have to follow, you can't cross people. You have to sort of queue before you get into the store, your temperature is measured. Once you're into the store, you can touch the goods. You cannot try them on in Belgium, all right? So you have to guess whether it's your size, yes or no. You are given 60 days to return. In a way, it takes out the pleasure of shopping, So at that point, as a consumer, then I'd rather shop online. It's the same thing. It's almost the same experience. I don't want to be negative at all. I think we are making progress. It's just there is no the explosion that everybody was really hoping for. There are not still many people in the store. So what my guess is going to be is that yes, we are going to have a comeback. There will be a return for sure, but it's probably going to take a little bit longer, than we were hoping for. Yeah. So let's see what the second part of the year is gonna hold, and it's gonna happen. I'm just saying, I think the desire for shopping is there. It's just that, the overall experience for customers needs to get better. Another insight that I have, if I look around, restaurants have been closed for a long time. Other activities have been closed for a long time. So kind of prices are going up because if you go to a restaurant, there is a reduced number of seats. So like it or not, the owner of the restaurants has to increase a little bit prices to keep, the same revenue. And it's the same a little bit over the place. So the share of wallet for consumers, the amount of money that they can spend in clothing is going to be even thinner. And that's not necessarily good news. And to me, that contributes to the fact that in terms of volume, there might be, I think, a reduction at least in the first phase, the second part of the year, initial 2021. However, said that, who am I? I don't have the crystal ball. It's just what I'm observing at the moment.
Yeah. So for us, we're based in Pakistan, but we do have a global presence. We have offices in different parts of Europe. So one in the Scandinavian region, one in Spain, and then we have an office in the US as well. So we've been gathering information from them. And I would say that given the current circumstances, the first few signs are positive. I mean, it's just been a few weeks since the shops opened, but after, months of lockdown, people are eager to get out, especially now with the weather changing as well. It's almost the start of the summer. So over the last few days, we have seen that more people are visiting the shops. Are they buying as much denim? Probably not, right? But it's all relatively speaking. So, I mean, just the fact that they're actually going into the stores, checking out what's there for the new season for summer. I think these are all encouraging positive signs. And I think we have to go step by step. Of course, the pandemic first started in March, and that was, the beginning of the spring season. So that, of course, was the worst hit season. We're going to see probably a lot of that either written off or carrying forward into summer. And for denim, typically, summer is the smallest season. But I still think that it's not quite the doomsday scenario that everyone was fearing maybe 2 months ago. I think that slowly things are getting back on track. And in August, when it's back to school in the US and it's also the beginning of the fall season, and then carrying on into September, etc. If schools and universities do indeed open, and if people are back to work full time, then I think fall, which is typically the busiest season, we should definitely see an uptick in activity. And just to add to that, in terms of what other insights we've seen, I think that what we noticed over these last few months is that even though e-commerce is an important component of our overall business, it's still never going to take the place of brick and mortar and the business done through actual physical stores, at least not right now. Because we've seen that while online sales have picked up, overall, if you see the performance of the last few months, because the stores were physically closed, we see a big dip. But I think that during this time, athleisure brands and those that are in the active and lifestyle space have done well, even during the crisis. And we've also seen that brands that have kept the end customers engaged, whether it's through social media or other marketing channels, have probably done better than some of their other competitors. So those are some of the key insights that we've gathered so far.
Yeah, and global value chains and the role they play in the world market might change. Even before the current crisis, there was a talk of resorting trend aching the efficiency gains. Do we see what happening? As our business industry is a quite globalized setup, but on the other hand, you figure out the supply chain is quite long from the cotton to the final product. Maybe it's from several countries, and it means that the efficiencies are not so well. So in my point of view, due to now the crisis, as a supplier, we are thinking about how to provide a high efficiency solution. Because Prosperity have a 2 production base, China and Vietnam, and then we have a 15 office all over the world. So we also thinking about as a supplier, maybe in future we are not just production, plus how to have a service to give a proposal to customer, how to have an efficiency solution in the supply chain. What's your opinion? Yeah, please, Alberto, maybe.
Alberto, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll be quick on this one. All right, as a chemical supplier, we can judge how the market reacts according to our numbers. Where we sell more, where we sell less in terms of chemical auxiliaries. Now, before the crisis, we could see some signs of sort of brands and retailers exploring solutions for nearer to shore manufacturers in order to better manage their stocks and their supply chain. So if on one hand I think there is a desire to be closer at home in order to be faster with the supply chain, on the other hand I think it's really complicated for brands and retailers to find elsewhere or closer to home the sort of a efficiency manufacturing output that has been developed in countries like, China and Pakistan. The same companies like Prosperity, AGI, have invested so much, for example, into manufacturing and production of a certain kind that it's difficult for brands and retailers to find the same level of service these days closer home. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if there is a desire to be closer from a really even practical perspective, it's complicated. So company like yours, I think, have an extraordinary competitive advantage that is difficult to match in nearer to shore options.
Yeah. I think that the current crisis will definitely force a reinvention of the global supply chain. Retailers and brands will probably reevaluate their supplier base and might need to shrink it down. And I also think that geopolitical factors might come into play, even though it's not really related to this current COVID crisis. But I think that's also important. If we talk about reshoring, I think we have to go back in time and look at why manufacturing moved out of Europe and the US in the first place. And I think the main reason for that was cost. Now more so than before, brands are going to try to squeeze down the cost. And I think that there will be a challenge there, because with 3 months of rising unemployment numbers, people losing their jobs in the millions, there will be less disposable income. And definitely going out and buying a pair of jeans is not really going to be top priority. And people are going to maybe reallocate how much of their budget they sort of spend on clothing and these other discretionary items. So I think to talk about reshoring would probably be difficult in this environment. I think maybe nearshoring might be more of a possibility. So for example, Mexico and South America for the US, maybe Turkey for the European Union. But I also think that vertical players will definitely be important going forward, because brands will want to cut down their lead time. They will want to leverage speed and flexibility and reduce their footprint as well. So countries like Pakistan, especially here in Karachi, everything is done pretty much within a 50-mile radius. The cotton is grown very close to our manufacturing facilities. All of our units, whether it's the yarn manufacturing, the denim, or the garment, are all within close proximity. And even the ports are very close to where our facilities are. So definitely you see advantages of speed over there. You reduce your carbon footprint. There's advantages of time. There's advantages of cost as well. So I think that is also going to be important going forward, because customers will want to take shorter bets. They will want to stay more lean, and they will definitely want to unlock the advantages of speed going forward in this current environment.
Yeah, and the change, unfortunately, the fall in the international trade is inevitable. Is manufacturing output going to shift? And if yes, how?
I think what has been just said. That the purchase of a pair of jeans is probably not going to be priority in people's mind. There is a statement that somehow suggests that there are going to be changes in what customers are looking for and what the manufacturer output is probably going to be. Now, if you look at us, okay, as a chemical company, we have chemical auxiliaries that we sell worldwide in the range of hundreds. Okay, since when the COVID-19 crisis started, we have seen our supply to change dramatically. We are changing 10 products. And those are all products that have to do with personal protection, antimicrobial solution for repellency against liquid of any kind. So for us, the manufacturing output has changed quite a lot. My question would be now, if we bring the conversation back to denim, right? And if I see in this phase of research and development, what some of the brands and retailers are asking in terms of innovation, I have the feeling that we are not really talking about only the same commercial products. And again, there is a desire to go beyond that. And it might well be that the product itself, denim itself, is going to be somehow different, probably of a higher quality, right? and probably with a different function as well. Now, whether brands and retailers will have the courage to go out with an elevated product at a higher price remains to be seen. But I think there is a kind of a trend in that direction. And, we really hope that the market goes into a better product.
Yeah, I think that for the future, sorry, Leo.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Just to add to this, what Alberto said, I think for the future, what we have seen is that functionality will be very important. There are now more novelty requests coming in for future seasons. So, different sort of weaves, different finishes, maybe some sort of brushing, etc., to the fabrics that are going to be utilized in the holiday season. And we see brands also doubling down on their sustainability initiatives. So they're definitely asking for new fibers such as hemp, which we launched last year. That has gained a lot of traction. There's more requests coming in for dyeing with less water consumed, less wastewater, sustainable finishes, laser, etc. on the garment laundry side. Also antibacterial and antimicrobial. These are very important. So I think that there's definitely going to be more unique or novelty demands from customers in the future. And there'll also be more need for customization. It won't really be the same basic denim that a lot of people used to buy. And the end consumer will also want to buy something different going forward.
To me, I always like to think about the future by positive. Nowadays, the big challenges are normally our production is based on order. But today, suddenly, we don't have the consistent order. How we manage about the production and the demand in the market. In Prosperity, we provide a middle platform concept. Because in our system, we are working with more than 2,000 customers. We analyze the demand by each brand. We want to, just like we talk about how to provide an efficiency solution. We analyze about the data, and then we'll pick up some of them. Nowadays, 50% the production is by analyze, and then repeat production. And then for the customer, they can have some always can be quick production and test order, and then quick repeat order. So we'll keep on to do some kind of from the order dry pattern to the data dry production pattern. These are what we are trying to do. And last question. When we look at the future, what could be some unique strategy to come out of this crisis?
If you ask me, I would like to close on a positive note. A couple of months ago, nobody really knew what was going to happen, and there was like a sense of desperation throughout the industry. Now we see encouraging signs. We are coming out of this, and there is a future there. We can see there is a future after Corona, and I think the key moving forward is really a spirit of collaboration. We are all in the same boat. We are all experiencing the same issues, and I think there will be major results and major successes there where there is some really effective collaboration throughout the value chain.
Yeah, we feel that supply chain management and making the system more optimal will be the key. Generally, supply chain of consumer goods are designed to prioritize efficiency, but we feel that now they will have to be more flexible. So as I said, customers will want to place shorter bets. There will be late commitments. Probably they'll want to immediately trigger those styles that are doing well. And manufacturers will want to stay lean. They will have to incorporate agility, speed, flexibility, probably need more versatile fabrics that can be used in different seasons. And I think that overall, we need to build a more resilient supply chain. There will be challenges, but we need to have a can-do attitude. So one example that I frequently use now at work is we just need to look at China and how they dealt with the crisis. There's examples of Wuhan making hospitals in less than 10 days. So that's the sort of can-do attitude we need to have on our side. There will be opportunities after this crisis, but we just need to stay flexible and optimistic.
To Prosperity, I think due to the crisis, there's some change that normally we deal with customers, a buyer and supplier. But today we are together, we are partner, all together to how to coping with the crisis. One part I think we will keep on the key customer account, try to provide more service. On the other hand, we also will support to some new concept brand, which we have some kind of the interesting project going on, and we are trying to figure out a way how to approach the customer, the consumer, more efficiency. We provide some kind of concept, we make some promotion together. It's also some of the new change. But I think anyhow, the crisis behind also means that there's a lot of change, and the change behind is a lot of opportunities also. Anyhow, let's like today we are in different regions, and then we are online to have this kind of a panel discussion. Anyhow, let's hold it there. Let's move on. I think it's okay.
Yeah, great.
Yep, perfect.